Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of the Big Doug and Carmi Show, your one-stop shop for all things Commanders. It is another conversation series episode today with our good buddy Josh Taylor. Josh, what's happening, man?
Sir. Welcome, fellas. It's been way too long, like you said, Doug. It's good to be back here. Glad I have the time to do this kind of stuff again with y'all, man.
Yeah, man, you're a busy man, so we get it. Look, we'll get into a bunch of stuff today, Josh, but I want to start out talking about content creation and sports writing. And, we all kind of started this together, it feels like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, right? And then everybody kind of has a different lane. Before we get there, I wanted to start with, you recently started a new YouTube channel. And George, when we had rebranded to the Big Doug and Carmi Show, we had thought about that. But we already had the 5,000 subs to do all the nice things. And it was scary. It was scary to kind of start back over. I'm curious, like, I have heard people say it's better to start over. You started over. I'm curious why and how it's gone.
Yeah, so I started the YouTube channel, what was it, like 2 years? I guess it was technically like 3 years now because I had it for 2 years. I built it up to like 7,200 subs, had good partnerships and everything. And then was hired by a sports company, and it wasn't part of the deal. Like, I had to sell them the YouTube channel, but they offered me a lot of money. So I was like, yeah, and I plan on being there for a long time. Turns out I was there for a year before I decided, I'm better off kind of by myself. And yeah, it was scary. Like, it was terrifying being like, dang, I got to start over again. But I was like, hey, I did it once. I could do it again. And I feel like I had the knowledge that I didn't have at the beginning. I mean, it took me 2 years plus to get 7K subs. And it took me a month to get to 1K and to get monetized. Yeah. So I was like, I know what I'm doing now. Like, I know the algorithm. I know, like, my audience. I have my community that I've built up. Like, it is scary, but and then, like, I have people reach out to me all the time, like, Josh, how do I get started? Like, what do I do? I'm like, just find your niche and do your thing, whether it's YouTube, whether it's articles, whether it's an audio podcast, like how I started back in like 2018 at a training camp in Richmond. I was just talking in this little handheld thing I had and uploaded it. So I tell people, like, just start. Like, yes, it's scary. I used to hate speaking. I used to be terrified of moments like this. Absolutely. But now it's like my favorite thing in the world. So it's been awesome though. Like, starting over, in my opinion, was the right move, and I'm so glad, and I'm so, like, just thankful for the support so far as well.
There are a lot of lanes that you can take doing this stuff. George and I obviously bring on guests each episode and pepper them with questions, as we say, until we learn something new for the day, and we learn something new all the time. There's guys like Louis T and Rio Robinson who basically live off the chat and do their shows that way. I mean, both have had guests on, but they generally are by themselves. I feel like yours is a mixture of the group too, with maybe some more tape study mixed in. How did you decide which way you wanted to go?
It's tough because, like, I'm just being honest, when I was first starting, I was looking at other people and like, okay, how can I do that? And like, and I'm a perfectionist too. Like, I don't want to copy somebody, but like, if I'm going to do something, I want it to be the best it could be. Like, it used to take me hours to edit a video or to edit an audio. And I was like, I don't enjoy this. So I was like, let me stop trying to be like what I want to be, but and then just be like what I'm comfortable with, whether it is talking ball or, getting more comfortable talking to people, talking to guests and stuff like that. But then also just like for me, it was like, I want to have the blend of a fan, but then also somehow like that professional beat writer side as well, which seems impossible. Like, it's kind of frowned upon, but if you're by yourself, I feel like it's possible. And I feel like people receive that well. I hope so. Like, I hope people enjoy what I'm talking about. And like, but like, I'm partially biased, but I'm also trying to be like honest, negative, positive, whatever it is. And I just feel like that's kind of my avenue. Like you said, like Rio and Louis T, like, top in. I watch them because they're entertaining. I watch them because they do give good insight. I'm like, man, I didn't even think about that
Mhm.
And then, but they also make things fun. When the season sucked last year, first thing I was doing was checking out Rio's videos and trying to get my spirits lifted up as I'm writing an article at 3 a.m. about a 28-point blowout. So it is about finding your avenue. And like with y'all's show, I couldn't do that consistently, man. I couldn't interview somebody and have guests on consistently. Like I love doing it. But man,
Mhm.
like y'all, that's what I love about y'all's show too, because it's hard. I don't think
Mhm.
people realize how hard it is, and y'all do a fantastic job. So
Thank you.
finding your niche and finding your avenue is such a big thing, or you're not going to enjoy what you're doing.
Mm.
George and I haven't been down to the Senior Bowl. It's this is the time of off season where everybody's got a source. George and I do not have sources, by the way. We have some people we've met over the years that will hit us with commanders information every once in a while. But getting down to like the Senior Bowl, Josh, I mean, you have beaten the bushes and put in the work for many years now to get to the point where you can say that you have sources. I mean, I think people, and this is just me, and this is just being honest. I think people see that sometimes and don't realize that you put in that kind of work and give you a little bit of the eye roll, but you have been doing this for a while. What would you say to folk that are getting started and want those sources? It's not easy to get them.
No, it's not. And I don't want people to think I have like someone in Ashburn like texting me. Like I think people get it mixed up. Like
Right, sure.
saying you have a source isn't like, oh, someone in Washington's leaking something. That's not the case at all. Every transaction has three parties. It has one team, it has another team, it has an agent, and sometimes
Yep.
it has the player involved. But even things like the whole Debo trade, like I mean, I can't say where I was getting that from, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes one of those people in the transaction don't know everything that's going on, but someone else does. But yeah, man, just I feel like it started at the Senior Bowl because it's such a networking pool. You're talking to agents. Like, I can't tell you how many relationships with agents I've grown from the Senior Bowl. And for me, that was the biggest thing. Then also talking to players, like, you know, meeting Ben Sinnott and being like, bro, I think we're going to draft you. He's like, hell yeah. And then he texts me like 30 minutes after he's drafted. He's like, bro, like, you're right. Like, building those kind of connections, like, it isn't easy, but you got to put yourself out there. And like, as much as I'm not going to name them, but the company I was with, as much as I don't like the company, the people in it is top tier, man. And I will say, working there just elevated me to the next level. The people are like, oh, do you regret it? Not at all. Because I feel like that alone, so many more connections, like I would never even imagined. So like it isn't easy. It took me 7 years and not making money and ending relationships of many years and starting life over sometimes to get to that point. But I just want people to like realize, like, when I say like, oh, I know something or whatever, like, it's not like someone like in Ashburn is leaking everything. There's so many different ways that this kind of stuff can come from, but you just got to put yourself out there and grind. Like, it took me 7 years to get
And
where I
generally
am.
it is not for anybody that has big sources, right? It's not generally coming out of the building. You've
No.
met scouts on the road who might have a little bit of information here. To your point, a lot of agents are putting that out there.
And most of it isn't
Sometimes
shared. There's so much stuff that you will never know about.
that's right.
They're
That's right.
talking about it, but it'll never come out. Like, people are like, Josh, why don't you like say everything? One, I'm not allowed to. Like, that's the biggest no. Like, if I just said everything that was told me, they'd be like, yo, Josh cannot keep his mouth shut. Like, I would lose everything.
Yep.
So like I think people kind of get frustrated that too. Like, oh, you don't ever like say everything. Like, it's not my news to like break. It's not my news to put out there and then people run with it on Twitter. But like, I have my group of like 2 or 3 people that I text all the time. I'm like, hey, I just heard this. Hey, I just heard this. And they're not going to say anything, but it's good for me to like have that,
like a sounding board or something like that, right?
yeah, like it's kind of like my safe, like my safe spot. Like, hey, if this happens, like, I just want you to know, like, this is what I heard. Like the whole Myles Garrett thing. I had somebody text me that the night before, and I was like, oh, that's BS, whatever. It's not gonna happen. And then I was like, oh, like okay, like that actually happened. So yeah, I mean, it's just part of the business. But I don't want people to think it's like some flex or something like that. Like, but it's part of the business too. Like I said, working with my former company, like I learned so much and just got connected with so many people That's the hardest part of the business, but you got to get out there. You got to go to the draft. You got to go to the Senior Bowl. You got to go to the combine. You got to go to pro days. Like I've been to plenty of like pro days here in Virginia or when I was at Penn State, like building those connections and just talking to people. And it comes in time, but it's not like some guy like he's just going to randomly be like, "Hey, Josh, I see you follow the Commanders. I heard this, by the way."
Yeah.
And if someone
George,
does, I'm like, okay.
Because George, I feel like a lot of times we'll learn more talking with our guests like off air.
Oh, absolutely.
Before we
100%.
get
Oh, yeah.
ready to get going,
It's all-
it's like
I think Josh nailed it. It's all about being out there, putting your name out there, being respectful, building trust with people as well, and not violating that trust. So I think Josh is exactly right. And Doug, you're right. I think the people that come on, they basically feel comfortable with us and tell us the secrets offline as opposed to telling it online, because it's all about just kind of keeping that together there.
And the last thing you're doing is like making a video like, hey, this is what we were just told.
Yeah.
Or like putting it out there. Like it's a respect thing. And like, I know it is frustrating because Washington fans want to hear and know everything.
Yeah.
But it's just not how it works. And like that, like, unfortunately.
You never bite the hand that feeds you, right? You basically, if you basically cut it off or violate that trust, you're going to lose that information, and that's less viable long term, right? So there's no point of it kind of spilling your beans right there. That being said, let's talk some ball, man. So let's talk about the OTAs. Let's talk about the Commanders. Josh, I haven't talked to you offline about it yet, or I haven't talked about it online. Brandon Ayuk, man, freaking elephant in the room. You hear that every single day. I mean, sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's not. Just kind of a ongoing saga. I'm curious, where do you stand on him and have these latest videos on Instagram? Have they persuaded you one way or the other? They kind of like turning you on or turning you off? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't mind it, and like I know Grant Cohn gets a lot of slack, but like
he's awesome. He's fantastic.
I think he's making a lot of great. Yeah, I think he's making a lot of great points.
Yeah.
Like I truly do think it comes down to like they kind of made like a written agreement, like, okay, like, you know, we're gonna get rid of the guarantees and everything. Like, we're gonna release you post June 1st when it makes, you know, sense financially. And since it hasn't happened, his videos didn't come out until a week after June 1st. Pretty
exactly
much.
Right. That was a tipping point for sure, right?
So I feel like he's getting frustrated. Like, hey, this is what we talked about, yet you're not doing what you said you're going to do. Because, and it makes sense in the videos. He's like, you know, I'm going to go play with Jaden. You know, I'm going to ball out, and you don't want to make this easy. Like, yes, they want to get a trade, but it has been made known that no one's going to trade for him. So what is the difference between them for the 49ers to release him now and then release him closer to September? Like, if he does report to camp, they're going to have no choice but to release him. So I think, like, I don't blame Ayuk. Like, do I think he's doing the most professional thing ever? No. But if someone said, hey, like, we're going to release you after June 1st, whatever, like, this didn't work out, and then you're waiting around, like, I could be practicing with my new team right now. I could be at OTAs in Ashburn. The time's ticking. What are y'all waiting for? Kind of thing for Ayuk. And I think he's just getting frustrated. He's airing it out online, like a lot of us have. But yeah, it doesn't turn me off at all. Like, I still think he's going to be here.
It's very interesting because it's clear that the 49ers want to spite Brandon Ayuk for what he's done, which is clearly, you know, it's understandable, right? There's definitely water under the bridge and they're angry with each other. But to what extent is nothing to be gained? I think his trade value, I'm sure both the guys agree, is out the window. No one's going to trade for him at all, right? No one's going to give him anything. So,
well, it's because you have to rework the contract. And then once again, the agent has to go to the team and say, hey, what would you give Ayuk? Then they have to go back to the 49ers, like, okay, these are the teams we're working with. But there's only one team he wants to go to. And Washington's not going to trade for him. So, like, what's the next move?
And if he wanted to go to any other team other than Washington, do you think this would not be a problem? Like, is this a Shanny still hung up on Washington type thing? Like, if he was trying to get to New Orleans or Denver, would this be the same kind of problem?
I say yes and no. I think it's to the point where, like, we've been expecting this since November. Like, like this, it's been obvious. So it's like, you know, we don't want to make it that easy for you where players can think that they can just kind of push over the front office this way. Debo wanted out. Jawan Jennings wanted out. Brandon Ayuk wanted out. There's been multiple players that have wanted out of the 49ers. It's not just Brandon Ayuk crashing out. It is a theme. It's a theme. Yeah. So I think this is like a point where the front office is like, we have to do something about this. and put our foot down to some extent. It can't just be, okay, if you want to leave us, then we'll do it. And like take all this financial loss. Like they took, some dead cap hit and stuff like that. So I just think it's to the point where the 49ers know they look bad and they're trying to do as much as possible to not just make it easy on Ayuk. But at the same point, this is a business.
Yeah.
Do I blame them? No.
Those receivers, it's interesting that those receivers that wanted out, markets weren't real great, right? Like Juwan Jennings, it took a while for him to get signed, and he didn't get paid by the Vikings. And Debo's still out there, right? Like, I mean, so it is kind of interesting that all these guys that wanted out and maybe thought the grass was greener, like that the market hasn't really bared it out for them that well.
You got some dead spots in the grass.
Yeah, for sure. And Grant Cohn keeps talking about how the locker room is like fractured. I'm sure you guys have been catching that at all. He's been saying that like it's a fraternal type of relationship, and it's a very like Republican thing, and and Ayuk definitely doesn't agree with that. And there's definitely some compartmentalized. He talked about Devondre Campbell leaving in the middle of the game, just walking off the field. And he's like, dude, I don't want to play for them anymore because it's kind of toxic over there in San Francisco. What's crazy to me, and it's going to be very interesting because I heard this the other day. I think it's a really interesting theory. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you're placed on injured reserve during the offseason, you have to forfeit the entire next season, if that makes any sense, right?
I didn't know that.
So let's say Brandon Ayuk rolls up to camp and is like, oh, I can't practice because my toe hurts, I have a hamstring, whatever. They'll be, oh, word, and the 49ers can put him on injured reserve and knock him out for the entire year. So that's like a diabolical thing the 49ers could potentially do in their back pocket if they want to go that route. So like,
which might be why he was saying 2027.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, right? So we might see how that goes too. So it's interesting.
He's the thing is he has to show up. He has to practice. Like,
yeah,
and he is healthy. There's no There's no doubt about it. Like he's not hurt. He's not like, oh, I can't practice. Like he could practice. He has to. Which it's an ego thing for him though. Like, is he going to be able to go out there and do that?
It's a lot. It's a lot of talk for a guy that hasn't had any production in a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the fan base continues to just think that Ayuk's going to show up at camp and the wide receiver room is going to be somehow marginally better. And maybe it will because Ayuk at his best is a hell of a receiver, but we haven't seen it in a long time, Josh.
Yeah. That is the one thing that concerns me, but like we haven't seen these workout videos or anything like that. But does that mean he's not working out? I would be shocked if Brandon Ayuk hasn't caught a football in over a year. Like, I mean, even that video where it showed him warming up, what was like week 9 or whatever? Like, he was ready to play. Like, he was ready to play. It was that in-house, separation where things went south. So, like, I think he's ready. Would he make the wide receiver room better? I think he would.
I was gonna ask you that. I'm gonna go there in a second. One thing I want both of you guys to keep an eye on these Instagram videos, take a look at the background. I could be completely wrong. It's a complete conspiracy theory. But if you look in the background, the trees are like deciduous East Coast trees, right? And he has that training football and he has that Washington football hat.
Is he already in Alexandria?
Is he in Virginia right now? Is he hanging out at Jan Daniel's house and basically kind of chilling on the couch looking at that playbook because there aren't any palm trees back there, which I think is pretty interesting. Someone pointed that out. That was a great point.
Well, these guys also fly private, so they can get wherever they want in a hurry.
Absolutely. But Josh, let me throw that out to you because I think that's very interesting, right? There's definitely, I think the big talk over the offseason is, hey, the wide receivers are looking pretty weak, but the wide receiver room has a maybe limited ceiling, right? Maybe high floor, limited ceiling. Cornerback room the same way. Is it dire for us to even pursue Ayuk? Would you kick tires and Stephon Diggs? What's your stance on that?
I mean, I probably would sign Diggs, but like this is just my theory. Like once again, I'm not sitting here like saying like a report or anything, but like I think Jaden probably went to them and said, hey, Brandon Ayuk's probably on his way out. If you can get my guy, I would love that. And AP and them are probably like, cool. Like we'll see what we can do. Like noted. Like we'll keep an eye on them. And it's just like the inevitable at this point. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. But once again, like, would you rather have Diggs? Would you rather have Ayuk if that's what your quarterback wants? Like, yeah, I kind of lean towards Ayuk. Like, he is younger. He's, 28? And Diggs is about to be 33 this season. Diggs is more productive last year. So I think you're getting that instant production. But, like, who says Ayuk doesn't end up playing for 3 years? Like, we don't know. We don't know what he's going to look like. Like, he could look pretty dang good and then just actually plays well for 3 years or whatever. Like, just saying more than 1 year, because Diggs is going to be a 1 year and done situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just like, if that's what Jaden wants, then awesome. Sign Ayuk. We had Rachaad White, another one of his buddies. Like, bring him on over, and he's going to be cheaper than Diggs. And there's going to be a ton of incentives too.
Josh, what are your thoughts on this? Right, so look at this little comment right here. I missed the for one. I love the cut that you and Dula do. He's awesome. He's fantastic. We had him on the show a couple times. He's so cool. He's cool as hell. Right? I really enjoyed his content. I missed this point. Maybe you can elaborate on it for our fans. So apparently Terry and Antonio were all off to the side, I suppose, and I guess the other wide receivers were getting some exposure. They didn't perform well. I didn't catch any of that. What did you hear?
Yeah, so that was yesterday's practice. I mean, a lot of people were like tweeting at it, so like I'm okay with sharing this kind of info. But yeah, Antonio and Terry didn't practice. They were like off on a side field doing like some kind of drills and stuff like that. But they like didn't do 7-on-7s. They didn't do 11-on-11 drills. And they were just running other wide receivers. And yeah, Abdullah said it was a lot of checkdowns by Jaden, and other people said it too. But it was a lot of checkdowns. Just wasn't a good day offensively. Like the tight ends, honestly, had the best day, like with Chig and Ben and John Bates making big catches. But it's like Traylon Burks, Jalen, Luke McCaffrey. If Terry goes down again, we're back in that same boat. I think Antonio Williams is going to be fantastic, but are you ready to lean on him as a wide receiver one? I think that's kind of asking too much.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know everyone's hyping up Traylon Burks, and I think he can be great. I just don't think he can be healthy for a whole year. I think Luke takes a step. I don't know about Jalen Lane, man.
So I know you're kind of a Virginia Tech guy, right? Am I wrong about that? Or don't you like? I thought you like. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm a Coach Franklin guy. Okay. So I hate Tech, honestly. I hate Tech with a passion, but I like Franklin. And he's doing a heck of a job recruiting.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know. I still think the wide receiver room has a lot of work to do. And I had someone say like, "Oh, well, you think it's gonna be a wasted season if they don't sign Diggs, don't sign Ayuk?" Like, no, but I think it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
that
right.
You don't want to like come to realization that you've missed out week 7, week 8. And you're like, dang, we could have used another wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
No, we were talking. I don't remember who we were talking to the other day about Diggs, and they were like, would the problem with Diggs, would he be too redundant with Antonio Williams? Do they basically do the same thing, and you're trying to get Antonio Williams out there? And George and I were talking before the show today that it's like, it's a lot, like to say you don't want Diggs because it would hamper Antonio Williams. And it's like, Antonio Williams hadn't played it down yet. Like, let's not hype him up. Like, if that's what we're doing, worried about signing Diggs because he's going to overhype Williams, like, at what point do we have to temper down the expectations for a third round guy? I know there have been plenty of wide receivers drafted in third round that have been very good. We have one, but it's still like that's a lot to ask for a guy. How do you see if they don't bring? Let's assume they don't get Ayuk and they don't get Diggs. How productive can the room be?
I think it can be productive if you're not like considering Chig, who I think is going to be second on the team in targets.
I agree, 100%.
I think Antonio's third, and I think Rachaad White's going to be fourth in targets.
I agree with you. I agree 100%.
So it's just like
I know it's just little clips from camp. Rachaad White looks fast,
dude. He's so good, and I hate that I have like the Bill squad come after me. Rachaad White is running back 1, y'all. Like I don't know
so?
how.
Like
yes,
first and second down, like that.
Yes. Dude,
wow. Okay.
Who is the best receiving running back on the team?
Oh, Rachaad White by 100%.
Who is the best pass protecting running back on the team?
That's a good point. Rachaad White. Maybe
you're
Allen.
You're not gonna be able to take him off the field.
Yeah.
Like I get Bill is the best home run threat, but like even Katron can catch better than Bill. Katron can pass protect better than Bill, and he can run some people over. Bill's not good after contact. But I do think these outside zone runs Bill's going to just house them.
Yeah, he's going to house them.
Which is fine. Like, that's great. He has his niche, kind of like us. But, Rachaad White's going to be so good. Like, he can still
run. So is Bill the change it back running back, in your opinion? So, like, Rachaad's going to be like the go-to?
Man. It's just like Also, we haven't seen Bill this offseason. Like he missed the 3 open practices, like whatever's going on with that. So like we don't know. But I think it's Rachaad White's job to lose. And I think it's going to be so hard to take him off the field. Like it's going to be such a liability in the passing game if he's not on the field.
Of course, Bill hadn't played in what, a year and a half before last year. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see what he looks like with another full off season.
And he looks like he got a little bigger too.
Yeah,
I'm excited about Bill. I think Bill. I agree with you. I think Rachaad White's going to be third on the team in targets. I do think it's going to be McLaurin, then it's going to be Chig, and then it's going to be Rachaad White. That's really. I think you're the first person to say that Rachaad White's going to be RB1. That's very. I want to keep an eye on that. Really
I think so.
I think Bill has an explosive element, so I'm excited about that. My thing is,
you got to be right, Josh, because George is going to clip it and we're going to post it.
Somebody will. Somebody
hot
will.
take right there, 100%.
Josh lied.
So going back to that though, Josh, like, why are people hyping up Trey Burks, man? I think I'm the only one going against that. Everyone, the train's rolling for Trey Burks. He's never had more than 33 catches in a season. It's only been maybe 2 times in his career. He's had 4 catches in a game. It's been like 3 catches max, and that was like 2 or 3 years ago. He was on the team last year for 8 games. He had 10 catches. Like, where are people jumping? Like, he's gonna blow up and get 50 to 60 catches. Like, where's this coming from? It's just kind of like, it's like Ashburn syndrome, like summer hype right now. Like, besides blind faith, like, where's this coming from? Am I missing something? Like, I don't know. Throwing that to you.
I think it's half people coping that we haven't signed a wide receiver yet.
Okay.
And then when we do, they're like, "Oh, thank God!" Like I don't have to continue that. But then I think it's just half of like he has all the tools, but he just has never been healthy. Like even like it took him a few passes in Ashburn to like break his finger. It's like, come on, bro. Like even in OTAs, like the coaches are telling him to stop falling down. And he is in shorts and a t-shirt, like hitting the ground on catches in OTAs. Like, bro,
he's huge.
Stop.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Cut it out. So I don't know. I don't think he's a wide receiver too. If you want to talk about like the second best wide receiver on the team, I think it will be Antonio Williams. And I think it's going to be because he is in the slot and he is out in the Z and he's going back to what he was at 2024 at Clemson. But this whole Traylon Burks.
Were you watching Williams before draft or not? We didn't really. I'll be honest with you. Like,
not a lot because I didn't think. I thought I was him and Katron. Like I watched every game of Katron just because I freaking loved him and he played at Penn State and he's a Virginia boy. But I was just like, Antonio. I was like, bro, I did not think it was going to be possible. Like I'm not going to waste my time, which is terrible to say. Maybe that's bad scouting on me. But I was like, there's no way he gets out of the second. And he somehow did. I was like, there's a realm where he was going to go in like the top 35, top 40. And the fact that we got him, dude, he was wide receiver 1 when not last season, but when 2024 season ended, he was wide receiver 1 in the draft.
Wow. Okay.
No one was talking about Cardell Tate. No one was talking about, I mean, people were talking about Jordan Tyson, but he's coming off a good year, but the knee thing, and
he's always injured.
Yeah. So like people were like, Antonio Williams is the guy. He popped off in 2024. So if you want to prop somebody up, I know he hasn't played it down yet, but Antonio Williams and the coaching staff loves him. Like he's getting so much hype from the players and the coaching staff. Terry talked great about him, but Traylon, man, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't. You're not going to see me call him the wide receiver 2. Wide receiver 3, even, I'm kind of like, eh.
Yeah, and I have him as wide receiver 4. I
think Luke is better than him, I think.
Yeah, Luke's produced more. He's produced more of the time. It's funny that you're low on Jalen Lane. I think Jalen Lane has an athletic profile, and I can see him potentially being an upside guy, but the problem is the consistency with the hands, right? He can't catch the ball, which is very important for a wide receiver, but
yeah. Yeah, I saw that clip where he was like not dropping his weight and coming
I mean, you could see that in the film last year. I mean, not just the training camp clip that is going around, but that was the problem last year is that his only separation is speed. Like he hadn't gotten in and worked on a route tree, which is the exact opposite of Antonio Williams, right? Like, I mean, that dude
run every route,
which is crazy. But the funny thing you say that though, Josh, about Williams, because I mean, George and I do the draft series leading up to the draft every year, and we had nobody talking to us about Antonio Williams. And so I know after the draft, we were both kind of surprised, like particularly some of the receivers that were there afterwards. Because, I mean, Commanders set the tone there in the 3rd round with the wide receiver run. But the one thing that we keep hearing after the draft is that Williams is one of these zone beaters, right? That you can just get him out there, put Jaden on the move, and watch him get open. And that's really, I think, what's going to be most important for Williams this year with Jaden is that when you get those bootlegs and those rollouts that we really hadn't gotten much of, that's when a guy like Antonio Williams, I think, is at his best.
Yeah, David Blau keeps saying we're going to stretch the field vertically and horizontally. And I think he like really means that. And I think Antonio Williams and Chico Conco are going to have the same goal in mind. Like we are going to put stress on your defense, and it's going to open up things for Terry, and Terry's going to help us as well. Like it's going to be such a balance. I think Antonio Williams is going to stretch the field more than we think he is, but also after the catch is where I think he's so underrated. Like his contact balance and just his knowledge of like knowing like where to run, get that leverage on somebody. It's so funny because I remember during like leading up to the draft, I kept telling people like they need a slot wide receiver weapon. Like everyone's talking about Cardinal Tate, Jordan Tyson, all these guys. I'm like, they need a slot guy for this kind of offense. Like you talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown, you talk about Luther Burden, like the slot wide receiver role. It's funny. Me and Rio say it's it's kind of like a slander calling a wide receiver a slot wide receiver. Like, no, like it's such a big part of this offense. And he was like the one I didn't talk about. Like I was like, oh yeah, Omar Cooper Jr. has a chance. Like,
you're high on Cooper. I remember hearing that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
just lead up to the draft. I'm like, they need that kind of slot wide receiver, and I think Antonio Williams is the perfect fit for this offense. And I think they are going to move him around a ton. You're going to see him go in motion a ton. And like I said, that's where he's really going to stretch the field. When you have Chico Conquo running a seam route and Antonio goes in motion right under him and he's like sneaking. And there's so much that they're going to be able to do with them. So it does help. Like what he can do helps me not freak out about the wide receiver room. But like I said, as soon as one of those two, him and Terry, get hurt, I'm hitting the panic button.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
Both. You need
I agree
both.
with that. And then
go ahead.
I don't know if you remember this, but like we actually, when we had Jay Gruden on our show a little while ago, and Jay Gruden says it all the damn time. He says, what is the perfect complement to Terry McLaurin is that specific route runner. He's like, Terry McLaurin is that linear. He runs up and down. He's a north-south guy. He'll get downfield. You need someone over the middle. We talked about Jamison Crowder, young Jamison Crowder, people like that. So I do think Antonio Williams can fit that role pretty well. I think Chico Conquo it's going to be weird. I think in Tennessee, they manufactured touches for him, right? They did screens for him, little whip routes for him, and they would just kind of just give him the ball in the middle of the field and get upfield. He's going to be more of a Debo Samuel type of player that people think. Like they're going to use him like that. I think it's going to be pretty effective. I'm excited about that. I think Chig is going to have the biggest year. Rashad White's going to have a pretty sleeper year, and hopefully Terry will get those 10 targets that we keep hearing about over and over again. I mean, that's like the
Chig will have 8.
Like 7-4. Let's see what happens. What's that?
Yeah, no, I think seeing like how Chig talked about the offense. I remember when he was on was it Get Loud?
Yeah.
At first, when he signed, he was like, David Blau was showing me like the Bears offense. Yeah. He was showing me the Lions offense. He's like, I can't wait to really show my vertical ability. But he kind of like sent a shot at Tennessee. Like he's like, I'm gonna be able to run routes. I'm gonna be able to like show my receiving threat ability as well, and like actually be like a part wide receiver, whether it's out in the slot or even in line, and run those routes. And I think he's gonna kill it.
Yeah, Terry loves his tight ends.
I think the exact quote was, "I've never seen so much space in my life."
Yeah,
from that interview.
I'm saying that's stretching the field vertically and horizontally at the same time. You have to worry about every yard from sideline to sideline.
The other thing I'm excited about, and we talk about it a bunch on the show, is the idea that we're set up perfectly for the 13 personnel this year, which is kind of in vogue in the league right now. The one thing that's nice about the 13 personnel is, one, I think it allows you to get Senate a little bit more active. And two, you talk about way to manufacture touches for Terry McLaurin. When you're running that 13 personnel, right, everybody sees the run coming. But the beauty is you're actually running that 13 so you can get into easy passing downs. And the beautiful thing is you're only going to have one wide receiver on the field at that time. So to me, if they're going to start running that 13, which I can't imagine that they're not, the one running back, 3 tight ends, that is in a way that you start getting some of these easy touches for Terry.
Yeah, because like you said, when you're running 13, people are kind of crowded the box or kind of getting closer because they are expecting the run. Then you got to get somebody on those big tight ends who are really good at run blocking. By the way, Ben and Bates both are people movers. And then you got some offensive linemen pulling and getting outside and getting upfield. And then you have a corner on an island, Terry, and he's like, oh, shoot. Like this is, my safety help is kind of too far down at this point. Like I've got to make sure I do my things. So, yeah, it does help out Terry a lot. And those are like the one-on-ones where I feel like Terry has his moments too. Like Terry, that's the Terry Champ moments when Terry's about to just one-on-one, whether it's Stephon Gilmore, whoever it is, and make the most of it. So yeah, I think getting, and I talked about Ben today because I don't think people really realize how different David Blau's offense is compared to shotgun every single play and everyone's stretched out far across. Like Cliff Kingsbury's offense and David Blau's offense could not be more different. Like I guarantee David Blau was cussing under his tongue as many times as he could just watching Cliff's offense. But it's going to help. It's going to help Terry, but it is going to help guys like Ben and Bates get more involved with the offense. Because this kind of tight ends, you don't have a role in like an air raid.
Yeah,
like unless Ben's just running a seam route every play, that's just not realistic.
And Bates' hands are better than people give him credit for.
Yeah, it's better than I give him credit for it too.
And I actually like Bates. I think he has some wiggle to him too. Believe it or not, he's kind of like people kind of underrate. I think there is some receiving ability there. I'm excited about Blau because I think Jaden's going to be lethal on the bootlegs. I think he's going to create off of that a lot. What I also think is really impressive and I'm excited about is people sleep on the fact that David Blau does have that Ben Johnson. He does have that Kevin O'Connell, but he also does have that Cliff Kingsbury. And there is that difference, right? There's that air raid as well, right? But one thing that I did like about Cliff is that up tempo, and I did like that 2-minute drill aspect, right? So if we're going to be hitting that play action, that 13 personnel, that 12 personnel more often than not, however, 2-minute drill, we get moving on the field. Jaden Daniels is familiar with that. He had 2 years of that so far. He's used to it. That's still in our back pocket, so we can still use that in flexible situations. So I do think we are kind of multiplying. I like that. I'm excited about that.
And there's going to be like some trick plays, and I'm not talking about like some flea flickers and stuff like that. Absolutely. But you're going to see plays, like you said, especially in hurry up, where everyone's like, oh, like, okay, like hurry up. Like they're expecting a big, like something to happen. And then all of a sudden, like Ben Sinnott is blocking some guy and he just leaks out and he's wide open across like the middle of the field or something like that. Like there is so much you can do with it, but Blau is going to get creative and like we're not going to see any of that in preseason or training camp or anything like that. But there's going to be some plays where everyone's like, holy smokes, David Blau's got some Ben Johnson in him to that point. But taking that up tempo from Cliff and adding that to his offense, it's going to put a lot of stress on defenses to figure out what the heck's about to happen, and then the complete opposite is going to happen.
Exactly.
Two-part question. They're basically the same. First is, who gets the biggest? Who are some guys that are going to get bumps specifically because of the David Blau offense, the switch from Kingsbury to Blau, some guys on offense, and then we'll use that same question to transition to the defensive side of the ball.
I think Ben is one because I think he's going to get fullback reps. I think he's going to get tight end reps in line and in the slot because he can do all three. That's like what he did at Kansas State. I think he's going to eat in like those beneath routes, even those like little short dink and dunk, like safety blanket routes. And he can take it 10 yards after he runs a couple of guys over. Like, I think those are coming, but like I said, it just didn't make sense for Cliff's offense. Like it was just not like, there's no way like he was comfortable running what Cliff wanted. Surprise, Brandon Coleman. I think he takes Chris Paul's spot.
Really?
I do. I think Chris Paul was a great pass protector. Chris Paul was not a good run blocker.
Exactly. He's good in like a telephone booth, right? He's good to receive.
And the market showed that. The market showed that. I was shocked. 1 year, $3 million. But the one thing that keeps coming up early, and even last year, like Brandon Coleman can play multiple spots, but like his athleticism, his ability to get out, there's going to be some traps. There's going to be some counters. There's going to be some powers. Like you're going to have to be able to move. And I think that's where Chris Paul is going to struggle on these plays where he's pulling across and he's going to have to get to that second level, but he's got to go out wide. He's got to get out there fast. I think that's where Brandon Coleman's going to have the edge, and Brandon Coleman's a good pass protector too. So I think Brandon Coleman wins in this system. I think he's looking at the opportunity now. Like that's my spot to take. So that might surprise a lot of people. like something I've been cooking up the last 48 hours. I was like,
nice.
I think this is Braden Coleman's job, to be honest with you. Because even Zach Selby, shout out to Zach. I was checking out his notebook at practice, and he pointed out that Braden Coleman made a play where he got out wide, and that's just something I've had in the back of my mind. Like $3 million for 1 year. They kind of want to see where Chris Paul is, but he's great when he can play in a shotgun heavy offense, and he is pass protecting. And the runs, he's kind of just man blocking a lot. Like there is no pulling across. There's not a lot of creative blocking.
Mm-hmm.
So I think David Blau's offense.
Tunsil next to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Tunsil was a way better run blocker than what the Texans were saying
Absolutely.
he was. So like that
better leader too. Better leader.
Yeah. So that's who I think wins. That might be two surprising answers, but Brandon Coleman.
No, I like, and Brandon Coleman's got like a whole year now where it's like, if you're going to get a starting job on the offensive line, it is most certainly at left guard, where the year before it was like, BC, do this one. Oh, now BC, go to right tackle. Nope, BC, now go to left guard. It's like, that was a lot for 1 year. And I don't think people give him enough credit for how that kind of all transpired.
He was playing hurt too. Like he was practicing hurt. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he battled through a lot. So yeah, this is his time to take that spot.
Yeah, I like Coleman. All right, let's flip over to the defensive side. Who are some guys on defense that you think get a bump with the new Durante Jones system?
Man, I think Mikey. Because I checked out what the show with Thor.
Thank you.
I kind of disagree on certain things though, because like we know they're going to be a much heavier zone. Than they were. Like they ran a lot of man last year. And like when you look at Mikey, his physical limitations, like it is what it is. You can't hide it. We saw it in the run game when he was in the slot. There's nothing you can do about that. Like you either can do it or you can't. Javonte Williams put him in on the dirt in Christmas. That's as low as he gets. But outside, like when he's playing man, we kind of see the same thing. But like, where do his interceptions come from? He's usually undercutting a pass. He's usually reading and reacting. We hear how good his IQ is. He shows us that. Like the Chargers game, like he came out of nowhere and like picked it off. I think he's going to be able to use his strongest tool, which is his mind and his eyes, more so than having to be like, oh, I got to press him at the line. I got to press when he's not there anymore. But like AJ Brown, like God, I gotta rely on those physical tools in man, and I have to fight the hands at the catch point like throughout the whole route. Like, and you don't have to do that as much with Durante Jones' defense. And you're going to see some blitzes from Mikey. You're going to see a lot of DB blitzes, honestly. Yeah. Nick Cross is going to probably blitz more than any safety in the league. But I think Mikey can finally play comfortable in a zone where he's just reading, reacting, feeling things out, and then just flipping that switch and going after the ball.
And Josh, to that point, and Doug to that point, that's very interesting. That's a great point, Josh. I don't know. I just said that. I think what Thor was trying to say yesterday or Monday on the show was he loves the long corners, or Brian Flores loves those long corners because like he wants to create separation and press and create like chaos from the outside boundary wide receivers, just to kind of have the quarterback kind of hesitate a little bit to kind of generate that pressure. But that what you're saying is true, Josh. I think Mike is reactive. I think he's a great run defender. I think he's kind of scrappy. He can get downfield. In the slot, I think wide receivers, they're not necessarily always on the line. They're always about a step behind. Then Mikey doesn't necessarily have that press coverage. That would kind of be hiding his limitations there potentially. So it could be
or he's running into like an extra tight end. Like that's just not realistic.
Yeah.
He's not Mikey should not be able to get past almost 300-pound tight end, pushing him backwards in a run play. But we have seen, his rookie year, there was a couple times where he like broke in on a screen, or he did come down the line and broke up some run plays. So like it's there. And I think it's also important that like people ask me all the time, who's going to play in the slot? I'm like, it's going to be more than one person. Like, I hope you know that. Like,
I go with that.
It's not going to just be the same single, like every play.
Trial and error.
It's going to be a lot of different people. Mikey could play there a couple of times during the game. Amit could be there. We can see Quan Martin and Tyler Owens in the slot throughout the game. Like if they decide to go to 3 safety sets, which I think they'll play a lot of, which kind of scares me, but we'll see.
Well, my next question, Josh, was going to be, how do you see the safety room shake out? They like Will Harris, but do they like him as much as, the last group loved him, right? And I get that. Does this group love him? We don't know for sure. I'm sure they do, because he's a solid veteran. They brought in Nick Cross, who you mentioned, who obviously is going to get reps. I think Quan has a chance of being one of those guys that gets a bump from a new situation. I mean, the traits are certainly there. I'm just not sure he's. I mean, he obviously hadn't put it all together. So, like at some point, and I think Revo was out there last year because they didn't want to play certain guys anymore. So,
Percy Butler.
how do you see that room working out? Right,
breakout star.
Yeah, man, it is like. Honestly,
and of course, the fan base loves Tyler Owens, but I don't see it, right? Like, I don't see that.
Yeah, like I think Tyler Owens has a chance. I think if he does play, it's gonna be in the nickel, just so they have somewhat of a bigger nickel there. And then I mean his speed, athleticism, violence, like he's so physical. He's everything that Dronte Jones says he wants. Versatile, like he is everything that Dronte like says that he loves in his defense. So we'll see about Tyler. I think there is a opportunity for him because the depth isn't there either. But the safety room does it does scare me. I don't know what to expect out of Will Harris. Like, I think he's a giant wild card. I think Nick Cross will be a saving grace, but then once again behind him is Quan Martin. Can he be left out on an island? Like we've seen that he can't like protect like the whole backfield. that play against Cavante Turpin was like that was the final straw in my opinion. Like Dan Quinn benched him after that. It takes a lot for Dan Quinn to bench you. He didn't play a single snap after that play.
Are you more concerned about the safeties or the cornerbacks, Josh, in your opinion? Really? 100%?
Safety, yes.
Okay.
And
okay.
I say that because I think Trey's going to be great. I think Trey was a better zone corner in college too. Like he
has a length too.
Yeah, but he has the length to compete in man. We saw the flashes last year. I do think Mikey will be better. And I think the thing I loved about Abdul on the channel was he was like, I hated the signing for Meek Robertson, but he's been one of my favorite players so far. Just because
people seem to be talking some really good things about him. They're saying he's fired up, man.
What Durante called him like a pit bull or something. Like
something like that. Like,
yeah. He's just a feisty, competitive, but like he's a smaller guy too. But if I had to like pick a nickel corner, it would be a Meek, just because I think he has that competitive drive and that physical. Like he can get down and dirty with some bigger wide receivers and some bigger tight ends if he has to. I mean, he was guarding Justin Jefferson like it was nothing. So yeah, I feel much better about the corners, which might surprise people. But like once again, if Nick Cross goes down, I'm hitting every panic button in the room. Like if Nick Cross misses the game and I'm a quarterback, I'm taking a deep shot every play because I don't know what Quan's gonna look like. I don't know what Reeves is gonna look like. Reeves is getting old too, man. Like
he is an older.
He's not that young UDFA anymore. Like he's been around for a minute. So
well, let me throw this at you then, Josh. I think the Vikings defense, Harrison Smith was like the keystone, right? He was one of the best players. He was the most cerebral player out there. I think Sonny Styles was a home run pick. In retrospect, people were saying Caleb Downs was the best all-around player in the draft. If you were the GM, would you have gone Sonny Styles? Are you 100% on board with that pick? Or Caleb Downs, did you make a mistake there? What was your energy draft at? I guess that's my better question.
I mean, I was really high on Sonny. Like, I obviously loved Caleb Downs, especially being an Alabama fan. I was still salty that he left, but like he was dominant since he came in as a true freshman. Yeah, just a dominant player. But like, you have to think about it. Like for this defense, like it is Luvu's last year in his deal. You get Leo Chenal. I think that duo of Leo Chenal and Sonny Styles, like that can be a top. I don't want to say they're gonna be like top 3 duo, but this looks like the making of maybe like a Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw type of linebacker group. They're both super young.
I'm hearing Styles is a race in the middle of the field. That's what I'm hearing.
Like, and he can do more. He can blitz. He can stop the run. He can cover deep. Like he used to be a safety too. Like people aren't talking about that enough. Like he can cover deep if he has to. He's so fast. He has the length to compete with these tight ends and stuff like that too. So like, I think Caleb Downs is fantastic. I think what he does is great, but I think just the impact, Sonny Styles is going to have a broader coverage of that. Like he's going to stop the run more. They're going to blitz him more than we think. And he is going to make big plays in the passing game as well. So like, I got it. Like I was like, I get it. Like he's the guy, makes sense to me. And I wasn't mad at all about it. Do I still wish they had Downs? Like I would love both, but I mean, if I had to pick one,
of course,
I'd probably still go Sonny Styles right now.
I agree. When's
the last time we had a linebacker that could run the length of the zone down the middle of the field. I mean, I don't know that we've had one. I mean,
people are gonna say Sewell
maybe London Fletcher.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So that to me, you talk about the safeties having Sonny Styles be able to run the middle of that zone and be able to cover it long is going to make up for a lot, particularly if, like Thor suggested, that the corners do a lot of passing off into the other zones where the safeties and the middle linebackers got to pick it up. Makes me intrigued about what they can do with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the sky is the limit for Sonny, and they're going to give him every opportunity. Talk about the green dot, but then also just the big moments. Like, can he go out there and carry somebody up the seam? I think he can because he's that fast. Like, he's so fast.
Absolutely. Josh, let's do one or two more and get you out of here. People talk about the schedule and how difficult it is, kind of the gauntlet to start the year. I guess, what are your expectations of the season? I know it's very, very early. Preseason isn't even there yet, but has Washington done enough, in your opinion, to compete in the NFC East? Has a dynamic changed with A.J. Brown leaving? Giants had a good draft. Kind of what's your perspective on everything over there?
I think they did, honestly. Like, obviously, I'd say add one more wide receiver, but I think losing A.J. Brown does hurt. I mean, Philly just has so much going on. Like, I don't really have much belief. Like,
positively or negatively? What are you saying there?
I think negatively, man. Like, the DC was ready to retire. They were like begging him to come back. Offensive line coach, kind of like same thing. And then A.J. Brown's out. Like, and then of course, just Jalen Hurts is always going to be talked about. So I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a down year for the Eagles. Like, I really do. I think the Cowboys got a lot better. I think Christian Parker's about to be fantastic. That's the team to beat in the NFC East, in my opinion. It's not the Eagles. It's Dallas.
That offense is freaky.
Yeah, it's scary. It's really scary. But then they add Caleb Downs, and they got a lot better on defense. They got a heck of a defensive coach. So, like, that team worries me. Like, I still think the Eagles are going to be pretty good, but, like, I think Washington did enough to compete with the Eagles and maybe steal the NFC East. But I think the goal should be, and realistically, finish second in the NFC East and get one of those last wild card spots. Like, let's be honest. Talk about the Rams, talk about Seattle, talk about Philly,
West
talk about
stacked,
Dallas.
dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like, talk about the Lions, the Bears, oh my, like the Vikings, like everybody you have to deal with. Like, the NFC is really good.
Yeah, NFC is stacked. It's awesome. So I think the power's in NFC now. I think,
like I said, it felt like the power was in the AFC for a long time. It shifted.
Yeah, definitely shifted. So, like, for me, like, realistically, if you can steal a playoff spot from the Falcons or the Vikings or whoever it ends up being, great. That's what the goal should be. Kick the Panthers out of the playoffs. Take one of those last seed spots and and fight and compete. And I think they've done enough to do that and get back. Because as long as Jaden's healthy, this team can get as far as they did when he was a rookie. This team is better. Like, can we say this team is better than 2024? Absolutely.
I think so. Yeah. Defense absolutely. For sure. Defense for sure.
Well, and imagine this. Imagine if the defense is just average this year. Right? Like, I mean, not bottom 20, but if that's just the 15th overall defense and the offense does what it's supposed to do, think about how much better this team would be. They'll be in every game they play. And if the defense can just, if the defense isn't going to give up Viking style games from last year, right?
Let me throw the question at both of you guys. So, Doug, I don't think I've asked you. Which side of the ball are you guys more confident in, the offense or the defense? I know the best player is Jaden Daniels, but I could argue that the defense is more talent, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys. I mean, there's Tunsil. The two best players on the team are Tunsil and Daniels, and they're both on offense. There's a lot of questions.
Top three players on the team are on offense with Terry.
Terry, too. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, but then there's like Sonny Styles, Leo Chanel, Nick Cross, Payne. There's Newton, Owe, Chase. There's a lot of people stacked on that defense. So. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'd take the offense. I think it's easy to me because, Josh, you listed off the top three. I could say that the top four are there, depending on how you feel about Sam Cosme.
That's true, too.
Right.
Yeah. Dang, man. I think it is offense just because Jaden's that good. If Jaden's out there, I'm not worried. But I still think there's so many questions and so many, like, puzzle pieces that I need to, like, see put in place with the defense to be like, okay. Like, we have a lot of guys in the defensive tackle room, but, like, what's Javon Kinlaw's role going to be in Durante Jones? Like, I think Coach Hendo is going to be fantastic and get them boys right, but I still need to see
I like
a couple positions, especially with the safety room too. Like we talked about, I still have a lot of concerns. On offense, it's like, oh man, Jaden would really use another wide receiver. But he does have Terry, and he does have Chig, and he does have Antonio Williams, and he does have a loaded running back room. Yeah, and he has a great offensive line. Like, okay, like, the offense can score points. If this defense can hold teams to 17, 20 points a game, that's great. Even 23, I'm happy. Like, which is sad to say, but yeah, I feel more confident in the offense just because it's still too early.
The problem with the defense is, and let's just get out of here on that. And I'll throw it to both you guys. Is there anybody on defense? We hear this all the time with players and their importance. Does anybody on the defense keep an offensive coordinator up at night? And I'd suggest maybe Sonny Styles, but he hasn't played it down yet. So I don't want to go that direction just because let's see the kid play first. That to me is the problem. Is there anybody that keeps you up at night? Like there's no Myles Garrett. I know there's only one Myles Garrett, but we don't have a guy like that that's keeping offensive coordinators up saying, what are we going to do to take this guy out of the game? And that to me is the problem. We have at least two of those on offense.
Yeah. I think what's going to keep offensive coordinators up at night is trying to figure out what Durante Jones is trying to do. I don't think his defense, I mean, even look at like the Vikings, like they had a lot of really good players. There wasn't like some one dominant player. What's his name? Grenard. Fantastic. But he wasn't like a Myles Garrett or a Bosa or someone of that caliber. But also we saw a lot of these players start to break out in that secondary for the Vikings. So I think Durante Jones's defense is going to help just elevate everyone, but then put them in position to succeed. But then you're going to see so many different looks. You're going to see pressure from all these kinds of places. The defense as a whole will be so much better. Like I'm not expecting one guy to just dominate every game.
Yeah.
But I'm like expecting a Nick Cross big tackle across the middle. And then the next play is like Trey Amos pass breakup. Like I feel like it's just going to be an even field where the offensive coordinators are like, we don't know what this guy's about to do. We don't know where the pressure is coming from. We don't know who's dropping on the line. If Leo Chenal's blitzing, if he's going, if Sonny's blitzing, if he's going, like what's happening, if Caleb Von Chason's going to drop or what's going to happen. So I just think the defense of a whole as a scheme working together is what's going to make it better. It's not like one guy is just going to dominate and get 7 sacks in a game or something like that.
Yeah, I think Josh nailed it. I think going into the game, it's going to be like, hey, what are Durante Jones's pressure packages? How are we going to protect our offensive line? How are we going to communicate that maybe in a hostile field? Like, how do we kind of combat that? Get rid of the quick passes, which is something we have to work on. I don't know if you guys caught this, but I saw it kind of going across the feed and doing some research. Washington had the most missed tackles in the NFL last year, 131 missed tackles last year, 20 more than, number 31 in the league or whatever it is. So, like, can we make the quarterback rushes decision-making, those little underneath passes, and tackle for 2 or 3 yards to kind of keep it moving that way? That's the name of the game this season. We'll see what happens there. I do think Sonny Styles is going to be – he's the most athletic and the most elite blue chip player on defense. I do think how do we throw over him or around him because he can cover so much ground? And then my sleeper, I really like Kayvon Chazon. I mean, I think he's going to be really interesting. I think he's going to be like people – always going to be that speed, sexy pass rusher. I think he's going to generate that speed over there. But Chason's going to give you like 8 sacks this year. He's going to be a good like run stopper. He's going to be a flexible piece. I think it's going to be pretty intriguing this year, in my opinion.
And don't forget about Dorrance Armstrong that nobody talks about. Armstrong was having an incredible year before he got hurt last year, and nobody's even talking about him. You mix him in with Chason and Owe, and Amenahu, who apparently loves it in DC right now. Like, it was like a bunch of people they added that you forget about. He is. Yeah. I'm excited about that D line. And hey, it's Duran in a contract year, so come on, let's go.
Guaranteed 10 sacks, man. Yeah,
Josh, we appreciate it, man. This we could have done it for another hour, easy. But we appreciate your time, man. It took too long to do this again, so we'll make it shorter next time.
Yeah, I'll be back next week.
All right.
Thanks, brother. Peace out.
Appreciate y'all.
All right. Thanks, man. Thanks.